When I went through SEAL training, I had a very unique experience. I was the only officer of 140 guys. I don't think it's happened but twice in the history of the SEAL teams. These are enlisted helmets. The guys all had enlisted helmets. Officer helmet looks a little bit different. You have this big white stripe, front all the way to the back, and so the structures could see you coming and harass you at every point, right? They hold officers and they should leaders to a higher standard. But here's my helmet. They would line up all the helmets. As we go into class, we'd line up all our helmets outside. And as we did, all the enlisted helmets would line up, and there would be one officer helmet in front. Now, this looked very different. Normally, 10% of the class is officers, so you'd have about a dozen of these helmets lined up with a dozen of more plain-looking helmets behind them. So the instructors, who were all enlisted, by the way, they'd come up and they'd look at this little helmet, and they go, "Oh, what's going on here? There's only one officer in this class? Holy cow, what's happening? If we get this guy to quit, we got an all-enlisted class. Oh, this is a fun game." Not for me. So I'd be sitting in class and I'd hear this ta-tink, ta-tink, ta-tink. And my helmet, I knew what happened. The instructors did this very juvenile-like thing. They'd come up and they would just kick my helmet. And they'd kick it and it would go skipping across what we call the grinder. It's like a parking lot. And as they would do it, pieces of the helmet would chip off. And it'd get all messed up. And I'd run out of class and inevitably have to go pick up my helmet, put it on. It's always, all these markings all over. It's paint. And now I'm a target now. Not only do I have this huge stripe, but now I have like all these, and basically it's like drop down and give us push-ups, it's just more harassment. That was the juvenile thing. The hard part was when I got home at the end of the day, I had to paint my helmet. We finished around 11 o'clock at night. We started about 4 o'clock in the morning. And painting an officer's helmet takes about 2 to 3 hours. So do the math on that one. So 2 weeks goes by, and I'm losing sleep, and I'm getting sleep deprived. And it works. My performance starts to decelerate. My performance is just going down and down and down. And the instructors decide at this moment, this is the chance for us to see if this guy's got any quit in him. So 6 instructors dragged me out to the beach by myself. Again, you never want to be arm's distance away from anybody, but here I am, 6-on-1. They bring my class out to watch, and they're standing on the berm. And they're throttling me. It's, up and down push-ups. It's hardest warfare school in the world. Only officer, singled out. I think this is one of my moments, right? This is one of those dark, hard moments. And there I am. And instead of going one direction of just gutting it out, or even worse, going to feel sorry for myself, I decided to take an extreme position. And I popped up and I said, "Hey, you can't hurt me. Bring it on." And let me tell you, when you tell 6 combat veteran SEALs that they can't hurt you, I guarantee you they can. And they did. And they turned the volume up a little bit. And it sucked. Or maybe it went from a 10 to an 11. And I got through it. I don't remember how. And I got back to my room that night, and I painted my helmet, and I went to class the next day. And I just got through it. And I'm sitting in class the next day, and I hear ta-tink, ta-tink, ta-tink. Man, like, nothing has changed. It just sucks. Class is over, and I run out, and I go over, and I go to scoop up my helmet, and as I go to scoop up my helmet, one of my enlisted guys comes running up to me, and he hands me a freshly painted helmet with my name on it, my stripe, brand spanking new, looks beautiful. He says, "Here you go, sir." And he takes my broken helmet, he sticks it in his bag, and gives me a thumbs up. Cruises off. My guys had stolen 19 helmets out of the supply closet while I was getting my butt kicked on the beach. Learned a couple really great things from this real simple lesson. Number one, I didn't have to lead them after that. It wasn't about leadership. Next time we got a collective beating as a class, I heard it from the back. "You can't hurt us, bring it on." I'm like, oh, wow, look at that. I did not have to lead them the same way. I didn't have to get up and try to motivate them in the same way. They had seen me at my worst, and they knew the expectation for reaction. You as a leader at your worst, that's the most important time to dig just 1 inch or 1 millimeter deeper and show your true character. Or maybe it's not even your true character. Maybe you're just putting it out there. I didn't know what I was doing. It just happened. The second thing I learned, and it's about change, it's about our topic today, and that is, as you're going through this, it's a feeling that, as I was sitting in that class and I heard my helmet skip again, my feeling was, nothing has changed. It's tough. But it had all changed. There were 20 helmets in that classroom, all hidden, by the way. It became this fantastic game with the instructors. They would smash my helmet, and 3 seconds later, I'm walking around with a fresh helmet, right? Like, holy cow, what's this guy doing? Everything had changed. And that's how change kind of happens. You're going through it, it's difficult, you're slugging, it's rough, you don't think like anything has happened, you turn around and all of a sudden things start to move, things start to roll. I'm half Polish, half Filipino. My wife likes to call me a Polipino. I got a Hispanic last name. But thanks to St. Francis, I speak German as my second language. I served in the most diverse military in the world. I am a mutt. If these work for me, hopefully they'll work for you. I promise you these rules have zero bias towards gender, race, ethnicity, age, or social status. 3 rules of engagement for your future. First, learn to fail. Second, surround yourself with the best people. And third, be your best self. Rule of engagement number 1, learn to fail. Shortly after I graduated from the Naval Academy, I reported for duty in California for Navy SEAL training. I was in a training class with 139 top-notch, physically fit men. We were 140 highly motivated, carefully selected students. 6 months later, only 14 of us would graduate. SEAL training was brutal, and it was there that I learned to fail. I failed all day, every day during SEAL training. In fact, if the instructors found out that I was good at something, that is exactly what I wouldn't be doing that day. Every day I was told, quit now, you don't belong here. It's only going to get worse. You don't have what it takes. But here's the lesson. Through that failure, I learned what I was really capable of. I learned my limits. I realized that failure wasn't the end, it was the opposite. It showed me what was possible. Now it's your turn to learn to fail. Some of your failures will be epic. Some of them will be barely recognizable. But here's the thing. They will be part of your story,
And it's how you react to your failures that really matters. Let me give you one more example. One of my most epic failures about 3 years ago. I was so nervous about public speaking that I literally passed out on stage while, wait for it, speaking on the topic of overcoming adversity. Still hurts a little bit. And now I do public speaking for a living. That's what I'm talking about. Take failure in stride and learn from it. Use it as fuel to accomplish what you really want. Rule of engagement number 1, learn to fail. Rule of engagement number 2, surround yourself with the best people. The second rule I have for you has to do with who you spend your time with. Surround yourself with the best people. There's a famous quote that captures this. Show me your friends, and I will show you your future. I'll say it a little differently. Choose your friends like your life depends on it. In my case, it actually did. During SEAL training, everyone has a swim buddy. A swim buddy is your teammate, your partner, your other half. It's understood that a swim buddy is never more than an arm's length away from you at any time. Think about that for a minute. Think about how well you get to know someone, how well you know every success, every failure, every quirk. This is one of the ways SEALs build unbreakable teams. My swim buddy was like my brother. One sunny morning during SEAL training, we were scheduled to take on one of the most physically demanding challenges in the program, a grueling 7-mile ocean swim in the cold waters of the Pacific. My swim buddy and I were pretty fired up. We were great swimmers. We weren't there to finish the swim. We were there to win it. In the midst of all my excitement, I didn't properly hydrate or eat prior to getting in the water. I don't recommend this strategy, by the way. Things were going well until they weren't. 4 hours into the swim, I bonked. I ran out of energy. My body became hypoglycemic and immediately hypothermic. My body core temperature rapidly fell to 89 degrees. I was dying. My swim buddy knew it. He knew me so well that he knew something was wrong. He dragged me to the beach and he saved my life. Choose your friends like your life depends on it. Now, I like that story, but it's not my favorite. In fact, I don't even consider it one of my best choose your friends stories. My favorite is the one about Bryant. Bryant was one of my best friends here at St. Francis. He sat here with me at graduation. He was funny, smart, athletic, and I was just a better person when I was around him. While I went to the Naval Academy and on to be a SEAL, Brian went to Miami University and into medical school. Every time I came back from overseas, I'd track down Brian. And during one of those breaks, he told me I just had to meet a med school friend of his, Anya. And this tough Navy SEAL platoon commander was ambushed. She became the best swim buddy anyone could ask for. Anya and I have been married almost 20 years. We've laughed together, we've cried together, we've loved together, we've failed together, but most importantly, we brought 3 wonderful children into this world together. Jonathan Jr., Jet, and Anave. And that's the difference. My Navy SEAL swim buddy saved my life, but Anya gave me one. Choose your friends like your life depends on it, because it very well may. So what this is not a motivational, like, I'm not Chris Farley gonna scream at you up here, talk you down by the river. I contend that each and every one of you is extremely motivated already. You don't win a seat in this room, you don't win a seat at this company unless you are motivated, unless you're moving forward. Not everybody got here, everybody's been here all day long, fired up, leaning in. This is not about motivation. This is about how to channel some of your motivation in the right direction. We all work extremely hard. I have a profound respect. After I got out of the SEAL teams, I went into financial sales. I cold called thousands, 5,000 people. I had to go win relationships, win trust. I have a profound respect for sales. I have a profound respect for executive management, which I also got to do. So I contend, and I know how tired and how hard and how we dragged ourselves into this afternoon, but I contend that you're motivated. So my goal is just to provide a different lens into some of the things that you deal with day to day, called real leadership. Real because it keeps my little ADHD mind in check. REAL is an acronym for resilience, entitlement, attitude, and legacy. So let's get into it. Oh, by the way, it's going to be a bit interactive. I'm in the worst session of the whole conference. I'm like, after the Super Bowl, a whole day, and right between here and cocktails. So I'm going to need your help. Help me out. When I say the word resilience, what comes to mind? What thoughts? Tough. Sorry? Staying power. Thank you. Stamina. I'm sorry, stamina. Fantastic. Scientific definition. The ability of an object to assume its original shape after being bent, stretched, or misfigured. Now, in human performance psychology, we know as humans, we have the ability to respond better or even worse. This is a graph of your life. You ready? This is it. Up and to the right. All right? Thank you for the laughter. That's bullshit. And we all know it, right? No, this is your life. That's what it feels like, right? Are you with me? Still alive? It's a series of wins and losses, gains. You're coming around the corner, and all of a sudden, bam, you got it, you know? Or you come around the corner, and holy crap, I did not see that coming. We've all had them. You still have this upward trend. You still have, it's a lot easier to look at the graph this way. You still have this upward trend up to the right. If you question that, think about where you were 3 to 5 years ago. Think about where this company was 3 to 5 years ago. We were moving up and to the right. Put yourself 3 to 5 years ago, you can recognize that, yeah, it's been bumpy, but we've been climbing up and right. These are those great moments. Those moments they say that will flash through your eyes or flash through last 30 seconds of your life. Who can share with me what one of those might be? Birth of a kid. Yes, thank you. What else? Marriage. Fantastic. What else? The day someone buys a boat. Yes, thank you. You know what's coming next. These great moments, they're celebrated in the moment, euphoric recall. We can come back to them, but we really can't feel them. That graduation day, holding a newborn baby, you know, getting married, winning the big deal, you know, signing on with a new company. Those are these great, great moments. But unfortunately, we can't live there. And just by time and happenstance, by performance psychology, we fall off of that. These are the tough moments. These are the real rough ones. Who can share with me what one of these might be? Yeah, getting a terminal diagnosis, like a cancer diagnosis. Thank you. What else? Losing someone. Thank you. I lost 15 friends over the past 15 years. Buried them in Arlington. Tough, tough moments. What else? Sorry? Losing a job. Yeah, losing a job, losing the big deal. These moments, unfortunately, tend to stick with us. These are the ones that get all you smart and super motivated people, wake you up at about 2 in the morning, right? Or is it 3 o'clock? I'm not sure which time zone we're on here, right? Wake you up. They're the gripper moments. I like to say you're driving home like, gripping the steering wheel, like, damn. Okay, those are the tough ones. People ask in the SEAL teams, people ask me, how is it that you remain relevant? How does the SEAL teams remain at the top of the game, getting some of the best missions and executing on them without failure? What is it? And I answer that question with another question. You have to look back to the culture. I'm going to take you back there for a second.
Can you talk a little bit about prioritization? And right, so a lot of things have changed in our lives. Our teams have gotten bigger. Our geographies have gotten bigger, and we have to face a lot of decisions every day and how we prioritize that. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yep. prioritization. The easy tactical answer to prioritization is to eliminate the threat right away. Come into a room, boom, you got to get the biggest guy first, right? Priorities. Prioritization. I think about it in terms of SEAL teams, and I think about it in terms of corporate America. I'll tell a quick story. I'm a young SEAL. I had been through all my training. I had been, now I show up at my SEAL team, and they're going to give us some training around what it is to really be a SEAL. Like, this is actually, like, you made it through getting your butt kicked. You've earned a seat at the table. Now we're going to give you enough ammo to kind of screw everything up, right? We're going to actually teach you how to do this. It's called SEAL Tactical Training, and it was an awesome course. But there was a lot of work that we had to do to really become very proficient at what we did. We had shot about 1 million rounds up to this point, but now we're going to do an exercise where we're all going to be shooting, and as an officer, it's my job to move 8 guys. And they're going to do this exercise like this. They're going to put us all on line, and they're going to call contact front. And all of us with our weapons are going to go down, and we're going to shoot. And my goal is to get my guys to leapfrog off the target, get out of that fire zone. Right? It's going to come raining down on us. Situations like this. Me and 7 guys all lined up. We have the training cell behind us. These guys are like very seasoned vets, good. It's like one-on-one because we have enough ammo and demo to blow each other up, right? So they're going to make sure that nobody gets hurt, but they're also going to be watching us. We got crews behind them, medical crew, everything. So we got a lot of people, a lot of resources are surrounding us. We're on target. Right, here we go. Contact front. Boom. All 7, 8 of us go down. I'm on my weapon. I'm shooting. I had no idea how loud this was going to be. It's like screaming and everything. And I'm looking at my target. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm screaming down like 3 or 4 guys down. I'm trying to get these guys to move. They're blasting away, and we are blasting away, and we run out of ammo. We're sitting on the ground, and we totally run out of ammo. We're sitting there like, and the instructors are like, "Are you serious?" Like, they didn't even move one guy. Like, absolute catastrophic failure. Right? Like, you guys suck. So, it's like one of those, you guys absolutely suck. Get up, reload, it's okay, give it another shot, and we reload our ammo. Try it again. Contact fire. We all go down. We're shooting. Now it's a little bit better. I say, "Hey guys, come on." I'm screaming. I'm trying to move a guy over, but we move like 2 spots and we run out of ammo again. It's like, holy crap. What is going on here? So I'll never forget this guy, Pepper. He was about 5 feet tall. And he would chew tobacco out of both sides of his mouth. Okay? And when he'd talk, he'd spit like right at you. Right? So he kind of like, when he's talking, Pepper had like 20 platoons. He'd been in the teams forever. He said, "Hey, Mr. Sanchez, get back here." I was like, "Gosh, I got to go back." So this is like humble pie time. So I, got my M4, all my gear. I look like a SEAL. I go back and I said, "Hey," so what's up? He said, "Let me see your weapon." So I unstrap my weapon, hand it to him. Now he's looking at it. He's pretending to inspect this thing like it's the problem, and I know it's not because this M4 is my baby. I love it. I love this weapon. I'm very proficient at shooting it. He goes, "I figured out the problem." He takes my M4 and he reaches down and he picks up a stick and he hands me a stick and he said, "Go fight with that." I'm like, okay. So I think I'm just being harassed, right? This is like, back to SEAL team training, I'm being harassed. So I walk up on the line with my stick and the other guy's looking at me like, "Really, sir?" Like that. And as soon as I was about to say, I have no idea what's going on, they said, "Contact front," boom, and we all go down. And for the very first time, I saw the battlefield. I could see everything. I could talk. I wasn't concentrating on what this little thing was in front of me. I could see the bullets. I could talk to guys. I could slide back. I could grab guys. I was communicating at higher levels. I was bringing guys across. We just started moving, and we were so much more coordinated. I was 10 times more lethal with a stick than I was my M4. And that was a huge lesson learned. What is in our way? If you told me that when I walked out of that training field that day, that the thing was going to screw us all up was my beautiful M4. I love this baby. I slept with it, literally. I never would have believed you. But what's in your way? What are you holding so dear and so close? What can you get rid of? For me, it was dropping the M4. The target never changed. The target is always the client. The target is always the customer. The target is always there. And we can actively see what is hitting that target. You can read your data, your results. We can look at our targets and see how many bullet holes we got in them. We got scored on it. It didn't happen until I flushed out what was in my way.